Mike, the comfortable thing, I guess, for you and the staff from an offensive standpoint is, even if the quarterbacks struggle a little bit, you've got such a good offensive line. You've got X, Xavier Finney. That's kind of like your safety valve, isn't it?
No, not really, Mark. We don't want to, trip the plow and turn this thing over, as just a ground deal. No, our quarterbacks. We have four. We play one conference game in our first 4 games. We have 3 non-conference games. By the time we get to the 1st of October, our quarterback situation will feel like it was last year.
Okay.
Is it frustrating losing 2 big defense players before the first meaningful snap of the season?
Yes, of course. Lose a player of Mario Jenkins' ability and Tyson Manu's toughness at the same time that's really, really tough. You don't, at our level in 1AA, you don't have guys like that on your second team. But I'm excited to watch Camino play. Camino's been in our program for a year as a backup safety. And then, of course, Jake Pettit was recruited with the intent of competing for the inside linebacker spot that's currently held by Hayden Stout, who has literally been the surprise player in this program since the first day of spring football. Hayden has become one of our top 5 football players, and as long as Hayden Stout's on the field, we can get lined up and play a lot of good football.
You mentioned you're going to play a bunch of true freshmen. Can you give us a few names on?
Yeah, we'll play Robert Schwenke, Trevin Alloy, Rashid Williams. We could play Holloway at outside linebacker. We could also see Jason Miller at strong safety. We won't see any on offense, but we could see a bunch of guys on defense, and that's related to injuries and one severe ineligibility, which has really decimated our defensive line, because we will not have a chance to see Nico Taylor play this season because he just is not. He can't get on the field. He'll play next season.
You won't see any true freshmen on offense.
Nope.
Talk to the maturity of that group then, not having to play anybody coming in.
Well, I'll tell you what, everywhere I've been, whenever we got rolling, it was because the offensive line was your alpha group. And right now, I don't do anything in this organization the offensive line doesn't approve of. You get to talk to Skylar today, Phillips, who's only a junior to be, not even 20 years old yet. And he's one of the alpha guys we've got. But Terrence Carey, Christian Deem, Wes Wingrove, that whole crew, those guys are the guys who are going to carry this whole program for years to come, because our culture is now led by our offensive front, and Matt Troxell's done a wonderful job of elevating those guys. Well, that's the gang. That's the gang inside of the team that runs the show. And we don't need freshmen to play like we did in years past. I mean, years past, that offensive line took nap time in between series, and we didn't put them on the field without changing their diapers every time. Well, now they've grown into it. A lot of those guys are 3- and 4-year starters, and the guys behind them are growing and getting better, but they don't have to play every down every day. So I'm pretty proud of where we're at in our offensive front. It makes me sleep well at night.
How's the rest of the team respond to the offensive line?
They respond pretty good. Those are the big guys now. If they don't like it, they'll follow them. Whatever those guys want, this team pretty much follows.
If you punted today, who would punt?
See, I have no idea. Kyle, I won't know until it's 4th down. I could limit it to a couple guys. It could be Tanner Guller. It could be Michael Sanders, and it could be Zach Johnson. Literally, I have no idea. That's a fair answer to a fair question.
I played soccer.
You're
High
up.
school, so-
I've checked your SAT though. You got to be eligible. You got to come through the academic keyhole at ISU. And I don't know if me included I couldn't get on the field for ISU right now.
Mike, tell us about Black Hill State.
Black Hill State.
What have you seen?
Well, John Reimers is our head football coach, and his pedigree comes out of Chadron State. And Chadron State's been a Division II program in the Midwest that really knows what it's doing. They've upgraded their facilities a little bit. They're coming off a rough season last year. They lost some starters. They're a big unknown for us. We know offensively, though, they'll try to go fast. That whole league, the RMAC now, tries to go fast and do the same things we try to do on offense. I think offensively we have a good handle in what they're doing, but defensively they have a new defensive coordinator of Southwest Minnesota State University, and so we'll do a lot of blocking on the fly with the veteran offensive line as the game unfolds on Saturday. They came in here a couple of years ago and played us and led us 2-0. Xavier Finney's first carry of the year, he got sacked for a safety, and we were behind 2-0 to these guys. So last time we played them, it wasn't a David and Goliath event. It was a competitive game throughout, and it took us a while to solidify the win. And I anticipate it could be that same way Saturday. We're a much different program than we were in 12 in a lot of ways, in a lot of very positive ways. Yet we're still playing in front of the fans, and we're still got to run down the tunnel. We still have to play like, you know, we're playing against the best teams in our conference at home. And I think the excitement our guys have about playing at home is typified by our statement, which is simply, it's not who we play, it's how we play that determines how Saturday will turn out.
Well, I know their quarterback who was there for 3 years has left, so they basically got a new guy, just like I do.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, they announced they would start a freshman quarterback out of Colorado as their starting quarterback. I have no idea. We watched him a little bit on his high school video to see what he's like, but Mike Sanders hasn't thrown a pass for us yet, so good thing I got a good dentist because I'm biting my teeth off.
He's a mobile guy. Does that concern you at all in a spread offense like that?
Sure. I mean, it really does. I mean, we haven't seen a mobile quarterback since we played Cal Poly. You know, our quarterbacks, they don't go anywhere. They run on the field and run off the field. So yeah, it's a vital concern. You can see a lot of misdirection, a lot of different things. We just have to be prepared for everything. The one thing I enjoy though is I love the multiplicity of our defense. I love our speed, but most importantly, I love our speed of communication. Finally, going into our third year, we communicate defensively like a college football team. For the last 2 years have been times it was a secret. 11 guys knew a secret, but they weren't telling anybody else. And so we'd have one guy playing one technique and another guy not playing the same technique, especially on third down. That's how you give up 91 first downs over the course of a season on third down. So I think our communication level is better because the 4 coaches are the same 4 coaches that have been doing this now for 3 seasons. I like how we've been able to do that, and the freshmen that have come in now have picked up the communication level faster than even the veteran players who played for us last year, simply because we have a better understanding of the caliber of kid that we're coaching on defense. So there are a lot of cool things to see on defense, especially those young freshman defensive linemen going out there in the field in the first time.
You've been doing this for a while, coaching.
A little bit.
Do you still get excited that first game of the season?
Oh, what else would you rather do? I mean, I've done a lot of exciting things in my life and had a great summer doing some of them. But coaching a football game at home at Idaho State University, about as fun a thing as I've done in my life. We've shown that playing at home can be something fun and entertaining. We've shown that playing at home can be revitalizing for our university and for our athletic department. And we want to be part of the pageantry of college football across the country this Saturday in Pocatello. Band's up and running, out practicing right now. Cheerleaders, dance team, everybody, officials, equipment guys, SID, media people. Yeah, it's a wonderful opportunity to display how good we've become and how good our standard has risen.
Mike, considering the shape of the program when you came in and when you took over, I know coaches, it's never perfect, it's never where you want it to be, but given where you started from to today, I think you'd have to have a lot of self-satisfaction just for the progress, right?
Well, the work now begins, Mark. That was work, but that wasn't desperation. Now the work level is, can we be consistently good? And to be consistently good, your attitude has to change from being a court jester. And there's some of that I had to do in my first couple of years. I had to create enthusiasm, false or otherwise, just enthusiasm for what we're doing. Now it's important that I have the intensity of leadership to maintain the quality that we've established to rise above it. 8-4, we didn't play a playoff game. We lost 2 games on the road in conference. We were in postseason. There's a lot of things yet to go. There's a lot of growing yet we've got to do. And part of that is that now our attitude is set on our team, led by our offensive front. Now my coaching staff understands the mission of where we're trying to go into the postseason. To do that, we've got to continue to be great at home. We've got to continue to be great students. We've got to continue to be great socially. And that's always a work in a state of flux. So to me, now the work really begins.